Morning. Here we go. You can see we had another little spot of rain today, this morning. Hopefully it's all clearing up now. Had to stop mowing this morning because of the weather. That's alright. Gave me time to do some other little tasks. Beautiful. Well, I was reading in Hebrews again this morning, chapter 1, in the Amplified, and it's amazing how much is packed into this little section. I just wrote it out, and I thought when I read it that it wasn't as long as what it turned out to be. I thought, wow, this was quite a large section. But there's a lot packed into it, so let's read it and see what God's got for us today. It's talking about Jesus here. The Son is the radiance and only expression of the glory of our awesome God, reflecting God's Shekinah glory. The light being, the brilliant light of the divine, and the exact representation and perfect imprint of his Father. Though I looked up what Shekinah glory was, and just to have a little bit of extra input in there, it said that it was, the word in the Hebrew means dwelling or settling. So the dwelling or settling of the divine presence of God. That's what we need to have around us, working in and through us, in our gatherings, in our alone time, to be filled. Remember when was it Moses that came down off the mount after he had been with God, and his face shone so that people couldn't even look at him? That, if we can even have a fragment of some of that presence of God shining out of our lives, I mean, that is amazing brilliance, isn't it? The brilliant light of the divine and the exact representation and perfect imprint of his Father's essence, and upholding and maintaining and propelling all things. The entire physical and spiritual universe by his powerful word, carrying the universe along to its predetermined goal. When he himself and no other had, by offering himself on the cross as a sacrifice for sin, accomplished perfection. No. Let me read that again. I mean, he did accomplish perfection, but that's not what it says. It says that he accomplished purification from sins and established our freedom from guilt. He sat down, revealing that he completed his work at the right hand of the Majesty on high, revealing his divine authority. Wow. That was Jesus Christ. And that's who we have. You know, he wants us to be in him and he in us. He wants us to abide together. No wonder Moses' face shone. And there's been many men of God, even since him. It was said of Smith Wigglesworth that people fell to their knees in his presence just because he'd been with God. He had spent hours with God in his daily devotions. He knew what it was to carry the presence of God. We need to practice, as I've said before, practice the presence of God. Practice being aware of his presence. Knowing that his presence is with us always. He said, I would never leave you nor forsake you. So as we take his presence with us, as we continue to be aware of that dwelling, settling, divine presence of God, that Shekinah glory, that Shekinah, that's his divine presence. We can have that same thing dwelling on us. Man, what a promise. What a promise. I just want to encourage you to get into the Word, read it, listen to what it's saying to you. Read it anew. Don't read it with all our preconceived ideas of what it means or what somebody said it meant. Read it and listen to what God's saying to you today. Let's live our lives by it. Let's have some of this glory, some of this light being reflected. Let us be mirrors. Mirror. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Reflecting his presence. And man, so much you could say about that. But let's just be reflectors today. Read his word and reflect it. Be salt and light to the world today. God be with you. God be with the President of the United States. And God bless y'all. Have a good day.